Scrolling down a little bit further while we have a little bit of time here. So now we have Bjorn, the second half of the broadcast, or second half of the bracket. Bjorn, he's up against the winner of Sebestis and Demi. We have Kyr versus Scarlet. Hype. Scarlet takes down Hacker's top 2-0 up against Kyr in the next round. So down we have Rainer. I didn't even get there, but Rainer, he is also playing for the first time, I think. this is the first time he's playing in a WardiTV Monday. Again, Rainer, he rarely plays in weeklies. So does Scarlet when it comes to the WardiTV Mondays, so does Estrella. So we're getting a lot of newer faces here this week. Faces that we do not expect. We typically see players from Korea and from Europe, but less so Rainer and less so from the Americas as well. So Scarlet and Estrella. But right now, Rainer is up against Nicorect. Nicorect took down Lelix 2-1, and now we have our next series. We have our TVZ, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Leylines, we have our South Korean Zerg player. We have our Red Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Team Little Fairy. It is Percival. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 3. Just catching up. I tried. If Rainer wins, I get to eat today from the events account. Let's go. We'll be cheering for Rainer. We'll be cheering for it. Este di Mega. Good to see you, papi. Good to see you. As always. Bienvenidos. Buenos días. But yes, you see how just stacked the bracket is. Again, we have a rare sight seeing Rainer, seeing Scarlet, seeing not just Rainer and Scarlet, Estrella as well, the Mega, of course. So I was very torn with what series I wanted to jump into. You know, again, the potential Clem versus Showtime in the quarterfinals also looks hype as hell. Showtime versus Young Yakov, Clem versus Shameless. It was hard to pick and choose a Scarlet up against Cure, but we did decide to fixate on the lower portion of the bracket, fixating on Percival, Solar, Rainer, and Nicorect. Likewise, you also wanted to avoid Wardi. I don't know what Wardi is casting. Let me just double check. Yeah, I still don't know. For now though, we are going to be settling in. So far, Hatchgas Spool, standard opener out of Solar. Meanwhile, Percival going for his own ranks expand, standard opener as well. So nothing crazy, nothing wild to begin with. Not yet. As Percival does poke across the map. Dance with the Lings, getting 1 Zergling so far, not bad. Now when it comes to Percival, he is a solo player in his own right, of course. He is still more of like an up-and-coming player. I say that. He's been around for many years, so it feels weird to say that. But he's a player that, you know, working his way up the ranks, I should say, and has been improving a lot over the past 6 months. It's been impressive to see his rate of improvement, 100%. And we have seen Percival take it to players like Solar in the past. Solar is favored 100%, but Percival, he has taken maps, and he can potentially take a series. He has it in him. We'll see if we can pull it off. Behind this, we do have our third CC for Starport. Economic opener here out of Percival. And Solar back at home, calming down. Oh, does focus on the Reaper. Nicely done. As we did see Percival, he was just a little bit too greedy. As he didn't want that tumor. Gets punished. See in the chat. I'll watch the YouTube VODs of all the POVs anyways to study how not to die versus Zerg. Let's go. Looking forward to it. As Percival moves out, behind this is going 3CC into Banshee play, not just into Starport, so he's committing into Cloak Banshee. And we'll see what he can get done. Initial Hellions are moving out. Likewise, Solar is keeping up. Does keep up. Oh, rushing into an early there. Okay, so that was what, a 4:20-ish lair timing, so a little bit earlier than normal. Curious. So we're going for the early lair. Second gas already being taken. As the Hellions do poke in. Now from here, are we tempted? I feel like if we wanted to go into fast mutas, we would have gone for a bit of an earlier lair as well. But we'll see. Yeah, we're taking gases. Now going for the 4th. But now we should have seen some tech. All the gases, now double lever chamber. So usually when you go for a faster layer like this, you go for an earlier Baleen Nest, and the Baleen Nest is lined up in such a way to rush into Baleen speed. But now we see the purpose here. I was curious. It was looking more and more like going and rushing into Spire, into Mutas, but no, we're rushing into a very fast Hydra Den. This is interesting. This is not normal. It's not normal, not standard. Almost like a Miyamika. Miyamika would often rush into Hydras and then go for Hydra-based all-ins. +1 range. Solar, he's cooking something. This is crazy. Going into 1/1 upgrades into +1 range, rushing into mass Hydra. This feels like a ZvP build where you go for a Hydra timing against Bioterran. Like, yeah, Miyamika, is that you? Is that... Jesus. I almost want to... What is... Okay, we're rushing into lurkers. I'm gonna message Rex after this. But we are rushing to these upgrades insanely fast. And it looks like we're rushing into lurker tech. Okay. So I was looking forward to a Hydra timing. This is not a Hydra timing. We're rushing into all 4 gases. Into all 6 gases. And the goal here is to rush into lurker tech. Now it's all coming together. Now, Percival, he will hit first. He's moving out. This is going to be the standard 7-minute timing. He's headed towards the expansion. We do have some Hydras to defend. But this is going to be a tough hold. Yeah, 1 queen goes down. He gets 1. And remember, there's no Baelings. There's barely any Zerglings. There's going to be 0 Zerglings as well. They'll slow down +1 carapace at least. But this high Hydra army is crazy. There it is. There's that lurker den into Hive. So again, as you mentioned, like the goal here is not to rush into a Hydra timing, it's to rush into lurkers. But can he survive? Ooh, Tank Boy's gonna be going up. Yeah, rough fight there for Solar. They're gonna have to fight out of range of the tanks. I say that he's committing and Lee's coming from behind. Okay. They're coming from behind, barely breaks the tank line. Just barely. Solar, he's holding. He is holding on. I'm still a little bit in shock as to this build. Oh god. Like, I want to say that we've seen this before. I want to say, like, a couple of years ago, I want to say there was a build where you would rush into lurkers like this. I want to say we saw it on Romanticide? No. Maybe. Like, around the Romanticide era of StarCraft. Like, this reminds me a little bit of Rogue's current playstyle. Rogue, he's also one that does enjoy rushing into lurkers like this. Not in such a way. Often he would go Roach, then into lurker. Like, this is much more greedier, for sure. That goes out barred in time. Solar does defend. Percival trying to rush past. He's in position. Percival going for a split push. But Solar, he's almost there. He's waiting a little bit longer here. The Hive is done. Vipers have arrived. Cadence on the way with lurker upgrades. Isaac Science kicking in. Yeah, so here we go. Does clap sword. Going for the tanks. Gets 1, gets 2. Takes down 2 tanks. At the same time, cannot push forward on the subside. Lurkers left in position. Lurkers are ready. It still does feel like a messy defense here from Solo, but I mean, it's working. It's working out, kind of. We lose an expansion. Hatchery goes down, has to be rebuilt. Hydra starting in. And these are still really expensive trades here from Solar. Very expensive. But takes out a tank. Gets another. Now let's get another. Picking up whatever he can. And here comes the Nidus. And Solo, he's maxed. He's maxed out. He's been defending beautifully here. We do see that Percival plummets in supply. Juju just throwing away so much. And now it's go time. Now it is go time. Nidus in towards the natural. We could go for a bit of a base trade here. Lurkers in the Nidus though. They can pop out. While Solo moving in. Vipers are ready. We can abduct. As the Lurker goes down. But the Nidus, no, it finishes. Nidus does complete. Lurkers, they do borrow. At the same time, the northern base does go down. And it looks like Percival, he will defend back at home. He's holding. He does defend, at least somewhat. Got an expansion. Solo here races back. The Vipers, oh, there's just the one. Just the one Viper. Lurkers cleaned up. And Solo does take down 22 SCVs. Gets decent damage. And well, he collapses on the army. And Percival, he can barely hold his own here. Unfortunately, he's just down too heavily when it comes to the army supply, when it comes to the worker counts. Did lose a lot. Solo now moving in. He's only got the one Viper. Gets the tank. Gets one of the tanks. Nice blinding cloud. Gets two more. Gets three more. Oh gosh. Forcing his way through. Takes down more tanks at the same time. Has to defend back at home. Lunkers is somewhat ready. Lunkers getting in position. Solo once again is maxed out. Still has a really low Viper count, which is a bit of a concern when it comes to trying to break these siege lines, but he's far enough ahead where it may not matter. It may not matter at this point. Just because there are so few tanks here to work with. Also did rebuild the Nidus. Thankfully. Going for another Nidus. First of all, he does notice. Once again, moving out. Oh. Really gets full medevac. Nidus into the main. And Percival, he once again, I believe, hopefully did notice. No, maybe not. Okay, does rally in. In once again, Solo keeping up with the draw play. Oh, where are those Vipers? Just now moving out. Just now being active. Oh, catching another tank. Still a bit of a messy fight here from Solo, and again, he's not really pushing it with everything. He's still leaving lurkers at home. There's still active drops. Percival, he's recovering. I spoke too soon. Oh god. I spoke too soon. That's just gonna be 13 SCV kills. Cleans up the lurkers. Cleans up the lurkers. Likewise, Link Hydra pushing in. Collapses on the planetary. Planetary is gonna go down. He's only +1 melee links, by the way. Just a +1. SMH, my head. Regardless, he will still overwhelm, takes down 3 more tanks. Takes down the planetary. That's collapsing in. And Percival just doesn't have the numbers. He just doesn't have the supply here to work with. Losing 37 SCVs. Going for the CC itself. Doesn't quite get it. Does pull away. More Nidus. Let's get more Nidus worms. Oh god, catching out more tanks. And GG gets called Solar. He will take game number 1. GG. GG will play a very unique build here by Solar. Very unique. Sorry, I had to message Rex. But GG well played. Solar does take lead in the series. Does take game 1. And with that, we are now getting into game number 2. We'll you guys are getting into the next game. So I just mentioned Rex. I was like, I miss me and Mike. He's like, why? I was like, oh, I saw the fast hydrogen. It reminded me of him. He's like, oh, his ZvT made me sad. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But here we go. We're getting into game 2 and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon. We have our South Korean Zerg player. We have our red Zerg representing Team Falcons leading the series 1-0. It is Solar. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the blue Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Little Fairy down in the series, but we'll see if he can force the ace match. It is Percival. Let's go. And I should wind it back and just emphasize the fact that Solar played like a madman last game. Going into the fast lair and rushing into 1-1 range upgrades, into fast hydrogen, into fast lurkers, like this is something that you rarely see nowadays. I was alluding to it earlier, like I do recall seeing something similar like a couple of years ago, to rush into lurkers in such a way, but yeah, it's a really rare sight and it can be abused. We saw that because of that, like Solar had a bit of a shaky mid game. Like the mid game was very shaky just because his trades and his defense was very expensive, because he was trading against Marines with hydras. Like he was losing a lot of hydras in the lead up to his lurkers, so it was quite costly there for Solar. It was costly, but he did pull it off, right? He barely did pull it off. He was able to maintain his economy, build up his hydras, and then bam, counterattack with lurker. And it was a pretty strong timing. I should also emphasize, because he rushed into lurkers so quickly, because it was so fast, that's why there were no ghosts ready, for example. Like it's actually a similar premise to what Shin's been doing with ultras, where because he gets into ultras so quickly, his opponent's not ready for anti-ultra tech. They're not ready with ghosts. Similarly here, where Solar rushed into lurkers, and because it was so fast, ghosts were a non-factor. Right? They were non-factor for Percival, and he wasn't quite able to handle the lurker play. It took a while for it to really kill Percival. He was able to hold his own for quite some time. I was very impressed with his Nidus play for the most part, and likewise was out trading Solar. He was trading more efficiently against the Hydra-based army, but eventually he was still overwhelmed. Right, the Vipers, the lurkers, the Hydras even as well, were able to find a lot of damage. Did eventually overwhelm. But yeah, that was a crazy game. And I'll be honest, I don't expect to see that again out of Solar. Like it was it felt like one of those things where Solar, he felt like he wanted to experiment a little bit. I don't expect to see that again today. Like, even if he plays against another Terran, even if he plays against like Clem later, for example, like no shot we see that again. Because it does feel quite abusable, especially from some of our other top players. And again, even Percival was kind of punishing it a little bit as well. Regardless, we're now getting into game 2. Behind this, we do have our standard opener. Ooh, hello. That is a starport. That is a starport before the CC. Okay, so Percival going for something much more aggressive this time. Typically, we'd see a command center on the way by now, but no, we're going to be delaying the command center in favor of a starport, in favor of, oh my god, in favor of something more aggressive. Speaking of aggressive, Solar, he's cutting workers. 24 drones, and we're stopping. We're going to pylon. Pylon aggression is favored. Show rush distance by ground. We're going to walk the queens. Oh, are we? I would have assumed we would. What's the plan? We don't see anything in the main, but that was a massive link flood on the way. Hellions are being active. Overlord's in position. Solar does go the long way around. Hellions are revealed. And now it's go time. Now there are 2 Hellions back at home. Can they get this round? Oh, can he? He can. Yeah, he can get. Oh no, the wall is open. The wall is open. Oh my god, that's a brutal choke point. Nice position there by Percival. Very nice position where one Hellion does go down. And the boys, they're unleashed. They're unleashed in the natural. They're unleashed in the main. There's still that one Hellion. Lings, they come in. They attempt to surround once again. The boys are being pulled. Nice defense out of Percival. He does minimize losses. And with that, Percival, he holds. Whew. He does hold on. Very nice crisis management. Despite the mass amount of links spotting into both bases, only 8 SCV kills. Only 8. And again, that could have been game ending. That could have been disastrous here. I mean, it's still a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. Behind this, Solar has been droning. And oh my god, if you recall, I spoke about the 1-1-1 hyper aggressive start into what? Into BC. Attempted BC. Solar checking his scouting. He sees everything. He's fully aware. He's where the battle cruiser, the queens, they do hold back at home. Back at home, we have no lair. Oh. No lair, but we're building up a queen count. And here comes the BC. Now, I believe the goal here would have been to have hit with BCs and potentially even an armory and hellbats, but that's not the case. That's not the case. It's not a factor anymore. CC on the low ground is expanding, and he needs to find some damage here. He does have to find something. So far, the queens, they hold their own. The late lair is a concern just because it means late spire and late corruptors. So there's going to be a bit of a bigger period in time where this BC can wreak havoc. It's going to be BC into bio, not BC into mech. Solar is committing into roach play. Committing into roaches. So we go, BC does teleport into the main. Lings, they respond to the Viking at least. Oof. And the first queen is going to go down. How many queens do we have left? 8. Now 7. 7 queens left. 7 queens remaining. They do zone away the battle cruiser. Like Red's Heli towards left hand side. They do threaten. There's that Spire on the way to help deal with the battle cruiser. At the same time, Roche, as they get across the map. There is no bunker, and they do take down a couple of SCVs. Hellions, they do get into the mineral line, though. They do get in. They don't get much done. Hellions are cleaned up. They get 2 drone kills, and the Roaches, they aren't quite enough to break through. Not quite enough. Percival does hold. Once again, we end up in a kind of weird game state here. Percival, he's not all in by any means. He's expanding. Behind this, going to a very heavy bio composition. Meanwhile, Solar, he's in a weird place himself. Just now working on the upgrades, which are going to be late. So late 1-1 upgrades out of Solar. Likewise, he's now working towards Aspire. From here, he has the option to go into Mutas. He doesn't know it, but I believe there's only one BC. Yeah, only one battle cruiser. Ah, but he already has the Roach Warren though. Like it's... there it is, Muta play. Okay, let's go. Going into Ling Bane Muta. Again, Mutas aren't ideal against BCs, but there aren't any BCs. There's BC. Like there's only one. There's no additional, so Mutas should be fine. Against one battlecruiser, they can focus it down. Drop into the main. Oh. The Mutas are revealed and they're not ready yet. Okay, they cannot fight this head on. Oh my god, one Muta goes down. Marines, they bust into the middle line, getting 8, 9, up to 10 drones, 11. 11 drone kills, nice damage. Solar is hurting. Mutas are revealed. This BC should get the hell out of here. Well, it gets a good amount of tumors first. Does teleport away. Does teleport. Backs up. Still being active. Black West Percival sending everything right down the right hand side. And again, the Mutas, they cannot fight this head on. And remember, the Ling Bane is lacking. No baiting speed, no baiting speed. The base goes down. Solar, he's in trouble. Again, all these Mutas are good, but they haven't harassed. Like Mutas that built to harass, that built to counterattack, they're not built to fight head on. Does get one Marine. One Marine so far. Okay, he just needs as much Ling Bane as possible. Still building up. More reinforcements on the way. So he does force the teleport. Marines are pushing in towards the natural, going for the going for the bathing nest. Oh, and this is too much. Yeah, bathing nest does go down. Massive pickup. Ay, ay, ay. And Solar, he will collapse in. He will clean this up, but he needs more than that. As he shuts down the main army, Banelings, they crash in. They crash into the bio. Solar shuts down the main army, and now it's time to counterattack. Now it's time to send it. Send it, papi. Keep going. Get some medevac. Get some medevac. Thors have arrived. Solar, he's on a solid drone count where he does have to retake the bases. And now taking up towards Hive. Is taking up. The Mutas, they can't achieve too much here with this Thor setup. We got some turrets on the way. But the species just refuses to die. It just boys are being pulled to repair. Turrets are ready. Thor as well. Thor also in position. Things are trying to collapse in. Oh, here he goes down. Go down. First we'll just try and distract. Quite able to. Oh! It's out the mine shot. From here, Solar, he has gained map control. Again, it was a bit of a shakier defense earlier, but he has held, he has survived. Now he has map control. And Percival, he needs time to recover here. He's getting to his Thors, getting to 3-3. But the base is exposed. Oh, my shot doesn't quite go, but Lings, they do get into the mineral line, and SCVs are going down. 5 so far. Drop across the map, nice damage. He also gets the mineral line. Takes down 6 drones. Line shot. Oh, doesn't quite go up. Not quite. So he defends, but Percival is buying time. And hey, he's bought enough. With his double drop, he forced everything back home, and Percival, he's now close to maxing out. He's pushing very deep on creep, though. I feel like he shouldn't quite be here. Percival's pushing far in. Bailing's there real forward. They do get trapped up on the Thor. Only for a moment there. No, never mind. Yeah, the Ling Bane is going to be enough. As you mentioned, Percival just getting a little bit too excited, pushing too far into creep. Down to one Thor. Link's capturing it from behind. This time they go for the middle line. This time they will get it completely. As Mutas says, let's respect that Thor. Now there's plenty on the ground. He's done it. So he breaks the main army, takes down the Thors, takes down the Mutas, or takes down the Medivacs, I should say, with the Mutas. And Percival, he has been broken. He just doesn't have enough left. Not like this. Not like this. Sniping the CC. They're catching other reinforcements. GG gets called, and Solar, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played, congratulations. Solar, he will claim the series. Again, a very dynamic matchup is what I will say. With game 1, Solar rushing into Hydras and rushing into Lurker Tech. Game 2, we saw Solar going and committing into Mutas this time instead as a response to the BCs. It was a bit of a shaky response. I will say that early on, I favored Percival. If you remember, Percival, he defended very nicely against the Link Flood. It was a big Link Flood, and Solar didn't really kill many SCVs with it. But he was able to at least scout the Fusion Core. He shut down the BC, and he was able to get into Mutas from there. Even so, the Mutas, they had a hard time finding damage. If you remember, I was still favoring Percival as he pushed out across the map. When he sniped the Bailey nest, like Percival, he had a secure position, and then he overextended, then he got shut down, he got surrounded, and we saw Solar was able to gain map control and maintain it from there. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be following Solar into the next series. What's going on? Where are we at? Let's find out.